Yes, Kenny Lock, Loose Cannon in the building. We go by the name of Sticks and Stones.
Yes, we're definitely back in the building. Had to take a little break, get our minds right. We're about to touch on a subject right now that's very touchy.
A smoke break we took
Yeah.
is what you'd call it. A smoke break, yes?
Yeah.
I don't smoke cigarettes. You don't smoke cigarettes, but we took a fucking smoke break.
Yeah. We're not going to say exactly what it was, but anything other than certain things would lead to other things. And what I mean by that, if I wasn't smoking what you think I was smoking, I wouldn't be talking the way that I'm talking.
Yeah, understood. Fucking stood.
Nice.
Me. All I've ever smoked in my life was weed, marijuana. That's it. Never smoked a cigarette. Never smoked crack. Never smoked fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Is marijuana, weed, herb, bud? Is this considered a drug? Is this really a drug?
Well, no. It's actually not a drug. It's medicine. In my opinion, if I didn't smoke, well, let me be careful with what I say moving forward. But in the past, when I used to smoke, it was something that allowed me to relax my nerves and be able to really prevent myself from getting into altercations or spazzing on people. It's a good reflecting medicinal what kind of, food component. I think that whenever I've done it, whenever I've been completely irate or bugged out about a certain matter or situation, after a spliff or two, I look at the situation totally different. Helps me relax, helps me look at it like, wow. I'd be like, yo, fuck that bitch, man. I hate that bitch, man. She tries to take me to child support one more time, yo. I swear to God, yo. I ain't going to talk to my daughter for like 10, 15 years. Fuck them both. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. I hate when chicks act like this and try and use the kids as pawns. You know what? Next thing you know, it'd be like, yo, what's this? Granddaddy perp? Yo, let me hit that real quick.
See, my story ain't as cool. I just get hungry. Like, I smoke weed. I don't go through none of that bullshit you just said. I can't even imagine. Like, that shit sound like a horror flick what you go through. I get hungry. I like to laugh.
Must be nice.
Must
be nice.
Well, I'm glad you don't smoke no more. It was just in the past, as you said.
Yeah. I'm constantly quitting.
Like past tense, as in like 20 minutes past or like 2 years past.
I'm constantly quitting, man. I quit today, tomorrow, yesterday, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. You never know when I'm going to quit.
Quit why, though? Quit because of your health? Quit because of money? Or quit because of all the shit that's going on with drugs nowadays?
I mean, they say quit when you're ahead. Something to think about. Sometimes they say quitters never win. And they really say you shouldn't quit. Look, I leave it a mystery, right? Just like the feeling that I have is a mystery. And what's another mystery is this whole thing that we've been speaking of, what we've been speaking on the past few episodes when it comes to racism and all of these things that's happening, Colin Kaepernick, kneeling, police brutality, but the real science behind everything and what really makes the nation move and tick, what people really don't understand, that I've been on for a long time on Facebook, and that's kind of why people have been following me and really telling me behind the scenes.
How do they follow you? What is if you can, for the audience that's out there and they want to get to know the Facebook Kenny, what's the name they search?
I mean, look, I'm a real dude. Just search me. My name is Ken Lockhart, aka Ken Lock, aka Sticks. But you can call me by my government, right? As long as you're not trying to do any identity theft. And if you do, just take along my debt with you, right?
Or what about the what about the collection agencies as well? Don't call neither, no?
Yeah, I hope whoever tries to steal my identity, if because in the hood, they don't like to use their government. Whoever tries to use my identity, hopefully they can take the collection agencies with them. You know, that would be pretty cool. The collection agency just call me like, yo, somebody scammed
That's
some of
if
your
they.
debt.
That's the least they can do for you. At least pay your fucking a little of
A
your
little
debt.
bit.
No.
Scam some of my debt off.
What's the minimum? You know, yes, miss. Well, what's the minimum? My name is not Ken, but I stole a $600 phone off of him. I stole his identity, everything he had locked in his phone. Yes, I can donate $2-3 at most.
Oh, $2-3.
It's principle. It's not about the fucking money. It's always principle with me. Just remember that.
I just want to hear a scammer. I want to get the phone call that said, oh my God, Ken Lockhart, somebody scammed $5,000 off your student loans. Be like, holy shit. Like, you know, you don't get those type of phone calls, right? So the ultimate scam that's been happening in the United States ever since they freed slavery is police, piggers, right? Because as soon as you catch them in one direction, they move. It's the guy in the raincoat in the alley that you don't ever see his face, that you just walk up to and he hands you the envelope and walks away and he disappears. This is the guy that's controlling the entire world. It's called, right now, what it's called is the war on drugs. So here's the thing. It goes from Colin Kaepernick to police brutality, but it's not police brutality. It's really the war on drugs because, check it out. The reason why cops are so scared in killing unarmed African-American men is because they're taught to, bro. They're taught that it's easier to catch an African-American guy doing crime. And based on if what you're seeing with your eyes, it's obviously easier because from a standpoint of drug usage, there's no distinct disparity from African Americans using drugs and Caucasian using drugs or any other race. Human beings use drugs equally, the same amount, whether it's, you know, whether it's marijuana, whether it's cocaine, whether it's whatever. There's no differentiating factor component in the way that human beings are made up that will change the way that they use drugs, right? But from a standpoint of the jails and the prison system, it is maybe 75% easier to catch a black person or to incarcerate them for the same thing.
Yeah, but if you're a police officer and you just...
A pigger.
If you're a pigger and you're driving around town and you go to the nearest bagel store...
Yeah.
And you got you're bored, you got a gun on your hip...
Yeah.
You already got a job. You're basically untouchable. You can run the fucking lights you want. You can stop whoever the fuck you want. You see an older white man, 55 years old, let's say, in a tuxedo, get out of a Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
Walks in that hot bagel store, maybe to get his prosciutto with mozzarella and the roasted red peppers with the fancy fucking olives. Mm-hmm. Or you just see the average black dude. Let's just pick Brooklyn, for example.
Yeah.
Because Brooklyn, we understand there's a Soprano side.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, we understand there's the Biggie Small side.
Yeah.
So we're going to say this. So we're in a bagel store, let's just say in the middle of both of them, of both ethnicities. Folks, I am a community college graduate, all right? I can say that proudly. So, yes, I may fuck up here or there. So you're a police officer. You see a man get out in his 60s wearing a tuxedo over a Mercedes, or you see a 2 Chainz looking man walking out with baggy jeans, chains around his neck, dreadlocks. Let's say you're an Asian cop. Let's not even say you're white. Let's not say you're black. Let's not say you're Spanish. Mm-hmm. Let's just throw fucking an Asian or an Indian cop out there. Who do you believe that these cops subject that they think they have a better chance at raising their stakes of being a police officer that they are? Who do you think they will intimidate, possibly find drugs on? Because you're saying it's about the war on drugs. So what we do know about the war on drugs, like you said, is we've seen a video where it says these Caucasians, 25% of them get away with it because 75% is the minority that's locked up in jail.
Yeah. Everybody's using it equally, but for some odd, mysterious reason, African Americans are pretty much the only ones really getting caught for it. And it does make sense if you look at it, right? So now here's if you break down the science of it, it's amazing Think about it like this.
Let's break it down.
Break it down, right? Where are the drugs coming from? Obviously, there has to be some sort of ill connect. Now, I sold drugs before.
Miami, no? Scarface drugs came from fucking Miami, from what I recall.
Yeah, they probably started from that point. I don't really know. Let's just say it came from Miami. Somebody got to connect. Boom. You know, they start moving, right? They get a hookup. They start moving their channels. Now you have, let's say you have a Caucasian dude, you know, because number one, first and foremost, you need somebody that's going to be able to travel and do things and move and shake and have money to get product. So
which is the white man, the evil white man.
White man is always going to fall down on the white guy event. Starting off is always going to fall on the white guy, right? White guy starts it off, of course, because he's the one that can buy the birds. Now, birds, a.k.a., you know.
It was the Latinos back in the day, because we just spoke of Miami.
Yeah, we're talking about how it gets into the black guy's hands, right? So somehow, some way, maybe let's call it Caucasian or Latino dude gets it into the black guy's hands, right? So now the black guy has it, but look, Caucasian guy moves around, he travels, whatever he has, he already has the money. He has the expensive car, but he sells drugs, but he lives in a nice neighborhood, but he blends into his neighborhood like everybody else, because everybody in his neighborhood is driving nice cars. Everybody's white. Everybody has a nice house.
So he gets it into the black man's hands. How? Because the black man that he's passing it off to has a choice to either do it or not to do it. They want to do it because they also may not be able to drive around in that same fucking Bentley that the boss is driving around into. But they can get themselves a little BMW or something. That's a choice that they choose to take. Yeah, now, whether if you are black, white, or Spanish, you're keeping drugs on you, you're handing off, you're taking that risk of getting caught.
Absolutely.
Now, how do you believe that the police are actually visioning? Do you think it's just the fact that you got white, Spanish, Chinese, or black, and he just so much against black, he goes straight to the black? Or do you think that it's the fucking Spanish that's dressed like Ricky Martin with like a tight-ass fucking medium shirt? Maybe you got the fucking white kid with the dirtbag jeans that are ripped and just a regular fucking white T-shirt tank top on. Or you got the black dude with the backwards hat, baggy jeans, Timberlands, just with the fucking mean mug face.
Well, it's not even about that. It's an easy game to find out how to get to the person that has the cheese. The mice and the cheese game. You throw, you know, if you took a warehouse and there was a huge warehouse and it was boxes everywhere, and then you went in there and you turned on all the lights, you won't see a mouse anywhere, especially if you didn't make any noises. But if you took a bunch of cheese and you just threw it into that room, turned off the lights, and then came back 30 minutes later, you would see a bunch of mice scattering all over the fucking place. It's the same thing with cocaine or drugs or anything of that matter. So here's the thing. Here's how you spot the cheese. And here's how you spot the mice. Once you put the cheese out there, which is the drugs, blacks, they watch these movies. They watch the Scarface. They watch the Bellies. They watch the, Paid in Full. These black dudes, they go into their neighborhoods. They're slinging heavy drugs, yo.
And they're bragging about it. So what?
They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're making more than everybody in the neighborhood. Millions of dollars eventually. And guess what? They cannot control themselves. They can't do it. They start
splurging.
They're going to, you've seen the fight. I mean, you've seen the movie with Denzel, American Gangster. They're going to the fight. They're at the front row seat. They're pulling up in the nicest BMW. They got the jewelry on. They're louder than Wendy Williams after some major gossip happened. So understand this. It's very easy to catch them if you're the police, because all you got to do is sit back and watch the neighborhood. And then you go, whoa. How does Daquan Johnson have the 745 Beamer when it just came out? And his pops is a plumber.
Quarter to eight.
So next thing you know, They just pull them up. They just keep pulling them over, and boom, they're able to find the major drugs. But then while they're doing that,
Yeah, but is Daquan Johnson stupid enough to be driving around smoking a fucking blunt? Which, if that's the case, he does deserve to get everything that comes to him for being that stupid.
well, look, there's a lot of things there's a lot of mistakes that are made in that process from, actually showing them all the money that you've made by driving these expensive vehicles, so on and so forth. But I'm not even talking about fully the Daquan Johnsons. I'm talking about the people that are on a very much lower level that are still getting incarcerated and getting the shit end of a stick because of low end crimes that are very minuscule compared to their counterparts who are these Caucasian individuals that are using the same drugs, but for some reason are not getting in the same type of trouble. And it's happening at a 3-to-1 ratio. Now, if you imagine this going on for years and years and years and years and years, and these are all they end up being like felonies, a lot of them on people's records, how are they going to vote? How are they going to make a difference in their community? How are they going to change their community and then eventually change the United States?
But why is that so important? Because if that's the case, if for all of those men that could and women that could have voted this time, the 2/3 that you're talking about, who the fuck would they have voted for anyway? Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton? Why is it so important to vote? I'm a registered voter and I didn't vote. It ain't that fucking important to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, there's a lot of black people out there that are very much involved in politics. I'm not at all. I could give two shits. But I do understand that does make the difference. And I know that there are people that are focused on it, and I'll let them debate and do all of that other corny shit. Me, myself, I'll just sit back and, do what I always do, just judge people and feel good about myself, But as far as what's going on with the war on drugs, what's interesting now is that the reverse is happening in front of our eyes. Back in the day, listen to this. Cannon, check this out. Back in the day, they used to give crack to African Americans to try and destroy the community.
For free?
Well, they introduced it to the community, to the minority community, so that blacks could start using crack.
Where did this take place?
It's in the cities. I mean, you're interviewing me like
no,
Harvard professor. Now, let me tell you something, bro. I could sound extremely intelligent, but
we're talking history. You're bringing up history. So if there's history, there's facts in history.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, where did this take place that they wound up passing off this crack?
Yeah, well, in the city. My mind and brain is only taking me to a visual of like a Brooklyn project.
So urban areas.
Urban areas, definitely. Right?
In what years? During what years?
Definitely the 80s, 90s, crack heavy, right? But at the same time, white people are still doing heavy cocaine in parties, in their office. Like, it's no problem. But black people, they found a way to ruin black people by doing crack and having that destroy our communities while white people are having a ball and fucking on their lunch break.
Why does crack destroy the community, but cocaine doesn't destroy a different community?
Well, I don't do cocaine, but I've hung around a lot of Caucasian people that have done cocaine. And, from the way that they look when they snort it, they just look like they're listening to heavy metal music in their head, and their eyes are a little bit wider. I've done other things that I think has cocaine in it, so I could kind of understand the feeling to a very lower level degree. So if that was heightened, what I felt, at those times when I think I was drugged at the party, when I think somebody Bill Cosby'd me.
Quaaludes.
May have been a Quaalude or something. I could kind of get an understanding of what cocaine feels like, but it won't destroy you like crack would. Crack would actually destroy you and turn you into a fiend. There's something you're just not supposed to smoke cocaine, because if you do that, it does something to your brain that will turn you into a zombie. But here's the thing. What I was talking about, the reversal, what you're seeing in society right now is a lot of Caucasian kids are being addicted or getting caught with an addiction of oxycodone or Oxycontin, or whatever the specific name is. But oxy is a form of heroin in a pill format, and there are kids all across the United States. It's like an epidemic that are becoming addicted to this drug. So for me, it's almost like poetic justice, because they purposely made crack an addiction for the African American community, and the rich white kids are now addicted like crazy to oxys and heroin. And you're expecting me to feel bad for these kids? The only tear I can cry is a tear of laughter, bro.